Represent MJC on one last day. Are they still in school this week?
They're not.
What's it like them being their last day? Does do they do anything? The same Nice. Hey, how are you? Good. Does everything else look right on that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, hey, good. After you got off the phone, I looked at the email and I was like, I wasn't supposed to send that.
Are we good with these? Yeah, do I need these?
We're done. My name's Tracy. I'm the BNI Networking for you. You a pen right there?
Spotless documents and buying at least.
Are we gonna do duo videos? Should I just wait for you, or should I just talk and see how everyone's doing? wondering if I should announce we're doing videos. Hey, Carol Ann.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Mr. Charlie is handling his business. He's got a real estate appointment this morning that he's running a little late from, but he is going to jump on with us as soon as the real estate monster lets him go. How are you doing?
I'm getting another probate.
Woo! I love it. I love it. I love it.
Just from the lawyer relationship.
That's it.
I gotta work on getting more lawyers. This is just that one lawyer.
Yeah, yeah. You should
Make
put
it
together.
easier.
You should put together a sequence of letters and I just think documenting the whole journey of what you've done from like, hey, this is what I do. I contacted a attorney, and this is all in your letter, and that had a probate case that they needed help with. I sent them the property profile, just like I'm sending you right now, and you know, it's no obligation whether you decide to work with me now or in the future. I'm here to help. Just short and sweet attorney language, real quick, and then that's it. But then just keep doing it.
Mhm.
Next thing, same exact letter, except at the top says, "Hey there, I know you're busy. Just wanted to put this out there again for you in case you need help."
Mhm.
I think you just, it's kind of like getting an asset manager at a bank. If you get a few of these attorneys,
Yeah,
this is your, I don't have to think about business,
I know. It's just like the only thing about probate is they're kind of gross, But are they all like that?
Tell me about that. What do you mean?
Are we alone?
No. There's somebody else.
What? Who's here?
I don't know. I just admitted somebody else.
Well, so far the ones I've seen, they're just like fixers.
Oh, the properties are gross. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. No, well, absolutely, they are. It's challenging. It's challenging because, with a probate, it's usually, hi, Carol Ann, you're now the executor. And you're like, executor of what? And like the trust, you were named executor. Like, I was? Okay. Now I have to work full time, be a mom, and now I'm the executor. And this property is in disrepair. What's wrong with it? Oh, there's mold. Oh.
But you know what? I'm good at. I seem to be good at with the divorce too. Is like helping bridge the gap with the problems between the heirs or the divorcees. I seem to have a knack for that. So the lawyers seem to like sending me in when there's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Tim, welcome. I see that you jumped on. Mr. Charlie is on a real estate appointment, but he'll be with us shortly. So I'm just talking with Carolyn here. We were talking about probate and yeah. Tim, what part of the country are you in?
I am in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, awesome. Welcome. And are you a loan officer or a real estate agent?
I'm a real estate agent.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wonderful. Yeah. We were just
Yep.
talking about the wonderful world of probate here. And Carol Ann is an
Nice.
Carol Ann is an absolute master at that. She's been contacting attorneys who handle probate estates. And she is experiencing some pretty good success, I'd say, for in a short time.
Well, I
Nice.
I feel it's just better to go after the attorney. Did you have that? But I talked to other people that they tried to go after attorney and could never, they already had their people.
Yeah.
Maybe I
They
got
don't
lucky.
always,
Right.
they lose them.
Huh?
They don't always have their people, they lose them.
And also not everybody connects with everybody. Some people don't like certain people. It's nice to have other people, right?
So, hi, Dana, and hi, Jessica. Welcome. I am just manning the ship here until Mr. Charlie gets off his real estate appointment. The real estate monster got him this morning. He will jump on here in a second. And yeah, so we were talking about probate. So yeah, so Dana, that was interesting. You brought that point, and this is kind of really ties into referrals while you sleep about, they don't like the probate attorney. They don't always have their people. They don't always have their agent, their go-to person.
Yeah,
One gal talked to me about this one person that was double ending everything and caused major problems on a probate because she didn't understand it all. So it's, I promise attorneys we won't double end their transactions.
do you
Period.
do probate?
I do a lot of probate.
Obviously, this attorney that I got with doesn't have an agent. But you know who's really kind of referring me is his assistant.
Yeah, but the assistant's doing it because you have the relationship with him already. Or
Not
her.
really. I just went there and
Sometimes you
your
just
business.
introduce them. You just introduce yourself to them. It's pretty simple.
yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah,
Anyways, I'm gonna take over this and make this probate.
so I thought it was interesting just because I mean, this is all getting back to relationship, and how relationships are built with people, especially when you're building, just instilling that trust. So you essentially talked to the gatekeeper, Carol Ann,
Right.
and that was the person that was handling that. And I thought that was interesting because, just as a side note with probate attorneys, you're talking to them, there is often, like Dana said, conflict of interest, stuff that, a realtor will try to double in and they get in trouble. But also the attorney themselves, they often, they see these rundown properties, probate oftentimes challenged with the property, and they have a conflict of interest. They'd be like, oh my gosh, it would be great if I could buy that, but they can't really refer anybody to it. They can't really, do that, in good faith. So that you could say, hey, well, since I specialize in probate, I also have other properties that, I come across, I can let you know in case they were an investor. But it's just I think being there at the right time, when the attorney has the case and they need to do something with it, just like when, the average of 10 out of every 100 people, that that already know, like, and trust you in your database, in your phone, they're going to move. And, if we haven't done the best job of staying in touch with them, which, I'll raise my hand. Sometimes I'm not always the best at doing that. I might not have been able to text every single person or make that phone call or make that personal letter like I should. And they've just kind of gone, like, if I have a top, 150, for example, maybe person 138, 139, they haven't really gotten as much love as I would have liked to have shared. And then somebody who just happens to be there at the right time. That real estate agent, it's who's there at the right time. And this is what I love about referrals while you sleep, is that you never know when when those people that are, those 10 people out of the 100 are going to be ready to go in their 7 years, in their average 7-year cycle, to either buy or sell, some real estate, and then of course need to get a loan. So I've just been seeing that, where these as I like to joke with Charlie, these people out of the blue that call me, someone that, we had, been in touch with and was on our list. So I'm just curious because I have been starting to track the incoming calls because that is one of the greatest ways of watching to see how this thing is working. Because if you're not techie like me and you don't go into the dashboard and look at all this stuff all the time, that's the question that Charlie and I always ask, like, what is the easiest way to know that this is working for us? And that is to just track something that is an incoming communication, whether that's a text, whether it's an email, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a like on Facebook or even a comment, or on any of your videos. Like Tony Ray got something from a client that was, overseas and said, hey, I'm over here on a website and I saw your ad come up. I see your face and your testimonial come up. So that was an incoming, and that's the way that it works, because just to clarify, this isn't something that where you put in a phone call to somebody, they call you back, or you text somebody, they call you back, or you say, hey, get in touch with me. This is just an incoming call from somebody. It doesn't even have to be about real estate or a loan. It could be a personal conversation, but this is the way that you're seeing that you're actually top of mind and that this is working. So so has anybody been doing that tracking at all, or just what have you noticed in the past, couple weeks? Dana, have you noticed any incoming calls?
Well, I get a lot of spam incoming calls, but not a ton of, but I have gotten a couple calls from people I didn't know. And scheduled 2 buyer broker agreements. So that was good.
That is good, because that's the other thing too, is that, as this subconscious programming is going on with referrals while you sleep, and they're seeing this stuff in the background, it's also obviously to the people that are in your phone, but it's also them when they're talking to other people. Because a couple weeks ago, I had a client contacted me, past client contacted me. I'd sold him and his wife a home. It was probably about 6 years ago, and on and off. But he just said, "Hey, I just checking in with you. I referred you this person, and they're going to contact you." So I think about those referrals because I know I haven't made an outgoing call, an outgoing email, or anything to this guy in probably over a year or so. So that was an incoming call I tracked. The most recent one was from a guy that used to work for me. He was my buyer's agent back in like 2003, and his brother contacted me. I hadn't talked to his brother. I don't know. The last time I talked to him or seen him was probably around the same time, like 2004 or something. So it's just a good way to kind of see how it's working, because like Charlie and I joke, it's like, yeah, out of the blue, this person called me, and just getting it to work. And Tim, how about you? Have you had what's your experience been?
Well, I mean, I just started. This is the first time I've ever been on a call or anything
Oh,
like this.
cool.
I don't really know if I'm even running ads right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. Well, then, Jessica, how about you? You have, because I know you're a pro at this, and you've been in for a while.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. There was one that happened recently. Who was that? Oh, I had a past client reach out, and it's been years. I want to say I did their loan maybe 5 years ago. And we are friends on Facebook. And in addition to all of the referrals while you sleep, I try to do stuff on social media a little bit every morning, right? So I may or may not have commented on her stuff, but they reached out. they're not even ready yet, but they were like, hey, this is our goal. If the house comes up, we just want to be ready. Can we go ahead and get this started with you? And I said, absolutely. So those things, I just don't know if they would have thought of me if this wasn't going on, because I don't have anything going out in a CRM. I'm like, I make comments every now and then, and I don't even know, I'm sure I've commented on their stuff, like they had a dog. So like that for sure. Because in the loan world, I've had a coach before, and in that coaching program, one of the things that we're supposed to do is we're supposed to touch base with all of our pre-approvals once a week. And that would be the point, or the part of the coaching that I did not do well. When I would try to get on the bandwagon with all of the little things I needed to do, it would be so painful calling those pre-approvals because they would be with another lender. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, we bought." It was like the worst thing that I could get back on the horse, right? It was like I dreaded, okay, now I'll start calling pre-approvals again. But if I'm losing pre-approvals that close to the time frame that I've spoke to them within 3 months, 6 months, how in the world am I getting this past client from 5 years ago? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
how I know it's working. That's a long answer for a short question.
No, I love it. I appreciate you expanding on it because you said something key there, and this is something that okay, so we all have our weaknesses in our business somewhere where we're like, oh, I wish I was better at fill in the blank. Um, so you said, hey, I like to post, pretty much every week you're posting something. Um, that's where I don't. It's like, well, I don't do that.
Non-business related, almost like making fun of myself or some sort of family thing. And Charlie told me to start it on the business page and then, but sometimes I forget to do that.
Yeah.
He said optimally, you probably want to start it here and then share it on your personal. But I don't always do that.
Yeah. Um, but I think this is where the critical inch of it is that even if you forget that, as long as you have, you've kind of uploaded that to the Dropbox folder for that video that you did, or just shared it, whatever it is, however you get there. I know eventually it's just I know that uh through the tech um magician stuff that Charlie does, he can grab that eventually. But it's just done. It's something that's there. It's something that's there. That's by you. That's with you. I just made it a point to make sure that I just grabbed pretty much anything that had every time I'm in an interaction or I have a picture, I just put it on there. That's been helpful for me. Just I just see that, there's so many things that we could be doing, and I'm just like, when I first heard Charlie say, "I'm strategically lazy," I was like, I really like that. I really like that because, we're each of us are so good at what we do. Most of the time, it's the same thing. It's like we just love people. We're in front of people. We're talking to them. There's no issues there. And if we just had those type of things going all day, where we're just talking to people all day, great. And then we've got everything else set up. So this is what I've just found, I had the questions because I was like going over, like yesterday we were talking to a loan officer, really successful guy, and about the program, and I said, hey Brian, how many contacts you have on your phone? And he put his up there, and it was like 13,000 something. And this guy has been doing loans for like 35, I think 35 years. Really successful guy. And he just said, man, I'm just doing this all on my own grunt work. Like I'm just, and I'm letting so much of this go. Um, but and so it was almost like a bit of a relief because first of all he wasn't even sure what referrals while you sleep was. He thought it was like some kind of like email drip campaign follow-up system or something like that. And we're like, no, it's this. And he was like, oh my gosh. So and I'm just always interested as a loan officer who talks to a lot of real estate agents, how have you seen a lot of like real estate agents contacting you from seeing these things and that are out there on the in the referrals while you sleep system?
I haven't.
Not really the realtors that you're targeting. So it's mainly working best for your clients, for the people that are in your phones. What it's essentially supposed to be working for.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is actually nice because, we do rely heavily on agents to basically sell us, right?
Yeah.
And it's nice to get our own organic leads that we can also give out, because that's always a complaint of real estate agents. We never get anything back, and it's just hard. Real estate agents build a really deep relationship with people because they spend time with them face to face. And us, we're just the boring numbers, you need more documents. Everyone hates us. No one likes this part of the process. So they're not going to be like, sure, we'll go with whoever you want. We're not that high on the chain for the clients. I don't think.
Yeah.
We try hard
I
to
don't
do
know.
it. Like
I have some loan officers that refer quite a bit.
that you do refer quite a bit.
I refer 3 different loan officers quite a bit, and they all
Yeah,
give me referrals.
that's my point. Like, you guys are the ones that we rely on. That actually are able to refer us. Like, you are the best referrals for us. The best, top of the line.
Yeah, that's what Brian was saying. And hey, welcome, Tony Ray. How you doing?
What's up?
So that's what Brian, the loan officer from US Bank, was saying yesterday. Was like, hey, I do appreciate, people like agents like Dana that are actually, loyal and then do refer, but oftentimes, so his niche was a little different. His was in, he does a luxury niche, and so his average loan is about a little over $1 million. So he's looking at agents that will sometimes, if a if a client is like, well, hey, you're the real estate, I've already got my own loan thing taken care of, and they're not always going to bat for him, and that's, and he likes to be that of course that loan officer that they're loyal to, as far as the client is involved. But with the real estate agent, he said that was one of the things that he was trying to get better at, and was hoping that this would work. But he said essentially, you know what, if any of these 13,000 people in my phone are seeing my stuff, then that's a victory. Tony Ray, we were talking earlier about just random incoming calls. Like, so you're trying to figure out, how this system works best, as referrals while you sleep, by tracking the incoming calls that just come, sort of, as Charlie and I joke, out of the blue. So have you over the past, couple months, have you had people like incoming calls or text or emails or likes or comments on your sites that have that you've been like, okay, this is something that people that I may have not talked to in a while?
So wait, so what? It's something people I haven't talked to in a while versus random calls versus strangers.
No strangers. People that
I get a lot of stranger calls.
yeah. No. I know you have the no strangers allowed sound on your. I'm just kidding. But,
I do have a stranger danger situation, but they're all good because all the stranger calls I get are coming through massive research, finding us, seeing us on the web, and then researching us through Google. And by the time they get to us, they're just as great as a referred client. So I have that business does really well. But but my clients calling in that I haven't heard from for a while, I don't connect that because my clients hear from us all the time. So they hear from us on emails every month. They hear from us in the mailbox every month. They see us on social media every month. They're invited to at least 5 parties a year. They're texted at least 4 times a year to 5 times a year to get invited. We are massively on our database. So I kind of don't ever get someone out of the clear blue. Like it would, like, I haven't talked to you in 7 years. Would be really odd for me. Does that answer that question?
It does, because what it shows is like, so for me, we're on the opposite end of the spectrum. Is I do so much, I have my coaching business, I do so much of that, and I haven't done as much involvement as you do. I have the stuff that By Referral only sends out with the newsletters and the postcards and the emails. But the texting and just some of the other stuff, I'm not in the parties. Like, I think, the personal interaction is what's so key. I'm sure that's a big thing for you guys, is where we can do all this stuff, all of our marketing, all of the texting, all the emails, all the posting, but that personal interaction is really what solidifies it all, and brings it all together. I don't know if that's what you found, but
yes. One of the big, so like we just did our Pumpkin Fest, which I've been doing for over a decade, and I had clients there that I helped them buy their first house 29 years ago. So, and that family comes to every Pumpkin Fest, and I have the mom and dad started with me, and I have their children's children now coming. So it's a really cool thing to have those kind of parties, but those are big events with over 100 people. So you don't get a lot of interaction. Then we have a bonus, which is we own an art gallery, and the art gallery is in downtown Tucson with a bar, and that's our not-for-profit. And like last weekend, I had 20 some people stop by to say hi. So because we come into that gallery every weekend on Saturday night, we stay there. It's our night out. And it's our one big night out. And we stay at the gallery from 5 to 10, and we stay right there. And everybody knows that. And so they come through, they're going to dinner, they're going to the jazz bar, they're going to wherever in downtown. And then they stop in and they get to see us and say hi. And they can hang out at our bar and have a drink, look at artwork, shop in the little stores. But that's a much closer thing for me, is that I get to hang out with them and really get into conversation. So
yeah.
I had some people there that stayed 3 hours last Saturday night. I had to kick them out. Like, I gotta go home. I'm tired. So I do think that personal connection is huge. And we didn't know when we opened the not-for-profit gallery, we opened that as a gift to our art friends. And we just didn't know what was going to happen. And that was the strategic planning around the gallery, around a giant bar. We didn't understand what would happen there. And it just really opened up a whole bunch of cool stuff, because now people come to us, and we do live podcasts out of that bar. We do out of that gallery. We do a whole bunch of stuff. So it's just turned out to be a really cool space for really close interactions.
That's awesome.
Where's your gallery? I grew up in Tucson.
So the Hotel Congress.
Oh, I love Congress.
Yeah. So Hotel Congress, you walk out the front door of Hotel Congress. If you walked across the street illegally, because you would not be in a crosswalk, you would walk over, and we're on the right-hand side across the street. So
there's a theater across the street, right?
There is the Rialto Theater, the rock concert venue, and we are just a few doors down.
Okay. We have 4 mutual friends on Facebook, including my nephew.
Oh, nice. Who's your nephew?
David Mills.
Oh,
he sold his house last year.
He did? Are you in Tucson too?
No, no. I'm
just-
saying that Tony did, but no, I'm kidding.
I just met David Mills at a restaurant.
Hacienda del Sol. He works there.
Yeah, well, I met him at Zona 78 because there was a sommelier pairing
Yeah,
of
he's a sommelier.
Italian food, and he sat next to me, and we got the giggles, and we got in trouble a lot because we were laughing so hard, and people were trying to speak, and we kept interrupting. So
I'm
that
his
was
aunt.
a fun night.
I'm his aunt. Sorry, everyone. That's
world.
kind of neat.
That's cool. I love that. I love that. That's how you find out how small the world is.
I know, right?
Where are you now, Carol Ann?
I'm in Los Angeles, San
Oh, okay.
Pedro, the port of Los Angeles.
Taking over the LA market as the absolute probate master now.
One house at a time. Where are you at, Jessica?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Nothing exciting over here.
Oh, stop. I'm sure there's plenty of things there. So, Tim, you've heard us kind of, rambling on about different things. And talk to us. Since you're new to referrals while you sleep. What are you doing to stay in touch with your the people that know, like, and trust you, the people that are in your phone?
So I send out a print newsletter, which is the Service for Life newsletter. It's been around for a long time. And I use a cover letter that's similar to that basically is a letter from the heart. So like By Referral only does. And then every Friday I post a what I call a real estate fun photo, which is just something interesting that I've seen while showing houses. And so I have an archive of these things, like every time I'm out, if I see something interesting, I'll take a picture. And so I could post for years if I never showed a house again. But the trick with that is I'm always enthusiastic about what I post. So if it's like orange sag carpet, like I'm super into it. And then if anyone else wants to tear it down, fine, whatever. But like, I'm never the negative one, right? So that's kind of the trick there.
Brilliant.
What else? That's about it. That's like a miracle I'm in business, but yeah, it somehow works. But my big thing is BNI. BNI is where is kind of like the ground zero for my business. Yeah.
So what with BNI do you do?
What do you mean by that?
Like,
do
okay,
you know what BNI is?
so I'm a fifth grader. Tell me, what is BNI?
Oh, okay. Got it. Sorry. So BNI is business networking, right? So I learned that I couldn't ask my mom who she knew who was buying or selling real estate, right? But like I could ask other business owners because they're in the trenches with me. Like I just don't like pestering people. Like I remember, like I'm at Keller Williams and I do like Keller Williams and I like their culture, but like I think Gary Keller would like look at me and be like, you're terrible. But because I've taken bold and like their playbook is call your friends and family and beg them for business, right? And I just like, so I did that. Like I called my buddy who I hadn't seen in a few years. We had this really nice conversation. And then I hit him with like, oh, and like, hey, like who do you know looking to buy or sell? And he's like, oh, that's why you called, right? Like, and this is like, yep, well, I'm never doing that again. So I better find another way. But BNI, again, like everyone's in the trenches, right? So what happens is that in this group of professionals, we meet every week and I'm the only real estate agent. Okay. So there's no competition. Well, there's a commercial real estate agent, but he doesn't do any residential and I don't do any commercial. So we like have great synergy. And then there's like an insurance guy and one loan officer and one estate and trust lawyer and one interior designer and however many you want, right? Like in our chapter, and we've been around since 2007, right? I was member number 6, and now we're up to all these years later 46. and it's been a lot of ebbing and flowing, but nevertheless, like even when it was just like, 10 people, I still got referrals. And of course it's like, it's been around forever, right? But the people who fail at it, I think, are the ones that go in and they think they're owed something, right? Like they think, oh, like I'm the real estate agent, like you got to send me all your referrals. And it's like, it's never like that. You are owed an opportunity to earn other people's business by how you show up, right? And that's it, right? Without any competition. But if you don't earn it, like you're not owed it, right? And so that's how it goes, right? So and what I found is that, you get, like the stats would say that you get something like a 3-to-1 return. So like you pass 3 referrals, you're likely to get 1. And I just do that without any expectation, right? And it turns out it works, right? So that's that. Yeah. So BNI.
I love it. I love it. So, I mean, obviously, we're only on a Zoom, but I can feel your charisma here. So this is good. So you go to these BNI meetings, and
Yep.
other than your amazing charisma showing up, what do you? I mean, I guess because there's some familiarity there, right? You know the people and stuff like that. But what do you talk to about them? Like, just because I think all of us are really looking for, new ideas for video and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was doing videos with Carol Ann recently, and the other day I thought about, you know what? She has a psychology degree. We got to do a video on this. And by the way, this is mental note, Carol Ann. We should do this video. Like how a psychology degree helps you in real estate. But like, so what types of things do you talk about to your BNI group? Discussions that you have, just if it would maybe kind of grease the wheels of commerce for all of us. Some other videos we could do, or just content, etc.
Well, yeah. So BNI has like a very structured format, which is like another one of the features, right? And because I've been in other business networking groups where it's just a little loosey goosey, and it can be dicey, right? Like you devolve into like politics and religion and all this stuff, and then you're just like, well, oh my God, right? And then it goes off the rails. So BNI, first of all, they do not recommend doing that. But what the other thing is, so you start off with some open networking, right? You're just kind of chit-chatting, like a lot of people, like you're welcoming anyone who's a guest, just kind of like, hey, what are you up to? What are you doing? Like, what's your business? That sort of thing. And then like a lot of times you're following up with people that you're already working with on something or other. And then there's a little bit of like table setting, we all kind of sit down and like there's some introduction stuff, but then everyone gets a chance to do like a 60-second commercial, right? It's like your elevator pitch. And in our chapter with 46 members, it's like 45 seconds, but nevertheless. So we go around and do that. And then, they'll keep stats on, how many referrals are passed and how many, how much business.
What do you usually talk about, like during your 60 seconds?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's different every week, right? Like it kind of depends on the, what I'm looking to target, right? But like right now, I may say, when you're running into people who tell you that, they're looking to probably sell next spring, now would be a good time for me to meet with them and kind of get a plan in place, right? Because it's super slow right now. So I would say like anyone who has the option of selling next spring as opposed to now, I would like to talk to them and help put a plan in place so they make sure that, right. But I may say, someone who inherited a house and they just want to get rid of it fast, or I may say, someone who, they just had their 3rd kid and you've been to their house and they only have 2 bedrooms and you're like, that math's not going to work. Like, maybe now it's time to connect them with me, that sort of thing. Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you're just kind of planting seeds, right? So that when they go about their biz. But the truth is that the 60-second commercials, they're best thought of as like test marketing mainly. Like the real special sauce then is everyone is encouraged. I mean, if you're not doing this, you're just really not doing it. You're not doing BNI, but you're encouraged to have what we call one-to-one, at least once a week with one of the members. And because that's when you really get to know them. That's just like going out for coffee and, talking about, there's all sorts of networking questions you can rely on, the standard ones.
Or the forward questions. Yeah. The forward questions.
Yeah, exactly. If you need to, otherwise it's just sort of like, getting to know each other kind of thing. And then that's how you really build that know, like, and trust, right? And then they're more excited to get tell other people about you.
So the
So
common
that's-
theme here is just like Tony has, what it's you're in front of people, you're face to face. The more you can do that, the
Well-
better off you are. Charlie, I see you popping on. Greetings from Hawaii, right?
Yeah, in my heart. I'm really in Nashville. Thanks for leading this. Just got to have a closing. And, I love the idea of, man, if you could do some of the one-to-ones like over Zoom, those are great duo videos a lot of times. Because what ends up happening, and I was talking to my coach about this last week, when when you're having a conversation and you're asking questions, the other person that's watching it, they're asking themselves those same questions. So, whenever me and Brad are having conversations about referrals while you sleep, like I'll ask him, like, hey, when did you realize that you wanted a real estate business that you didn't have to burn the candle at both ends, working 24/7? Like, when did you realize, like, oh my gosh, I've got this group of clients that like trust me and want to follow my direction, and then I've got all these leads that are calling me at 9:30 wondering how high I'll jump. So like I ask him those questions on our duo video, which is like a one-to-one. And what's cool that the audience asks themselves that too. So, with your one-to-ones, like when you have those conversations, people love to eavesdrop, and they can, because really what's happening is they're getting to know you as they watch it, just like the one-to-one person is.
Yeah, it's a great way to leverage that. I mean, it was funny because we were talking to Charlie and I were helping an agent in Kansas City, and we actually did we're helping him, and we were asking him about his business, and it was funny because he's like, yeah, I'm doing, he works his past clients, but he also goes, yeah, I know, I'm doing Zillow stuff, and I'm getting all these, and I love it, and I was like, well, man, keep doing it until you don't love it.
Yeah.
I'm in a networking group that started out as LaTip and then went out off on our own. And I get quite a bit of business from that group. And the different commercials that I do are all different subjects that we touch on. So whether it be probate and trust sales, or it be first time buyers, or it be a move up buyer, all the changes of life. That's what my 30-second commercials are about.
Nice. Yeah, Charlie, we were trying to just talking about like just content, like, because that's what can we do a video about? I mean, it's been easier for me because like just in the everyday you can be like, oh, I could do a video about that. Then you just put a reminder, hey, do a video about this. But like some of the stuff when I talk to people, I'm like, hey, just because they're like, oh, I don't know what videos to do. Like, hey, just put it in Google. What is the absolute top concern for, give me the three absolute top concerns for sellers right now. What about buyers? And just to kind of get something going so you can do that video or do that little, minute 30 post or whatever it is. Or go on to your MLS and just look at the inventory right now compared to last year at this time, and then just talk a little bit about that, interpret it as our coach Joe says, interpret the data for them.
Yeah, I like that. And what I found, like when it's a conversation, you could even ask the other person, hey, what are you curious about the real estate? Like let them ask a question that they're actually curious about. Because if they follow their curiosity, that'll just create a really good conversation. Because most people find what we do pretty fascinating. It looks so glamorous from all the TV shows and everything that think of all the questions they may ask. I mean, one of my clients said, wait a minute, you're sending a document for them to sign? Don't you shake hands at the kitchen table? That's what they saw on the TV shows, right? That was a real thing. And
what
Well, I'd like to, if I can split, if I can split this up into duo videos, would y'all like to take kind of the next 10 minutes and 15 minutes and kind of do a duo video?
I would love to talk with Tony if that's possible, since he's from my hometown. If you're interested.
That sound good to you? So
Unless you got something else in mind.
no, that's great. And let's see. Let me see if I can do this on my phone. The fun thing with real estate, having the closing here.
You're Charlie Madison. You can do it.
Let's. I'm gonna make co-host. Have any of you guys ever created a breakout room before on Zoom?
Been a long time.
I have,
Yeah,
but not specific ones.
I've never done that.
Want me to
I've been a
look?
part of them.
Yeah, I can. Let's see. I need to stop my recording. Stop
Do I need to be
recording.